Welcome, Virgo. This is your weekly focus, March the 11th through to the 17th, 2019. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. And let's turn right to the cards now and see what's in store for us this week and how to maneuver that path successfully. We start with, the Six of Cups. Yes, it is a time about looking back, and especially with Mercury retrograde, it's time about looking backwards. Old things coming back into play, revisiting certain aspects of your life, being reminded, going back maybe and reflecting, replanning. Somebody comes back from your past, or you see somebody and they remind you of that person. But that wasn't the first flash I got when I held the card. I got more of what I've been seeing lately. You standing there in front of this abundance, the beautiful flowers. And it looks like you're in some way holding back. You're holding back in where you really want to experience joy and happiness, and maybe you don't feel deserving enough. Maybe you don't feel worthy enough to really have the happiness in your life that you want so badly. Now, the woman is more like an angel or a spirit guide, coaxing you, asking you to step forward, asking to see your value, your worth, what you truly deserve, where and why you feel like you need to hold back and experience the happiness in some way. Step into the joy. Pardon me. Ten of Wands. So, we've really had this energy for the signs for the new moon energy that we are experiencing. But here we're burdened. We're too many obligations, responsibilities, too many different things that we're trying to focus on at the same time. Time to realign our priorities. What's important? What's deadwood? And maybe we need to look at our immediate past, or maybe it's way back then, but I'm getting an immediate past for what we have obligated ourselves to, what we've committed ourselves to, what we have taken on that is not moving us forward, is actually holding us back in some way, limiting us from really stepping into the joy, the abundance, the happiness, the love, perhaps, through the Wheel of Fortune. So whenever this card shows up, know that better days are on the horizon. The energy is shifting. Life is going to be getting easier in one aspect or another. For the majority of you, I think it has something to do with work or career, your stature in the community, what you do in the community, your home and family, perhaps. Things are evolving. Things are changing. So it's important right now to go with the flow, to know perhaps that the work that you have done has led you to a point where you can take that step forward in some way. That new doors are opening for you, to pay attention. And yes, to leave the past in the past. Getting rid of that deadwood. For work and career, this is the card, but we are going to pair it with the Wheel of Fortune. So, what you do in the community. This is about thinking. This is about pulling back. I've been getting this with everybody for some reason. At least throughout the week, maybe the weekend, the energy changes depending on the sign, but this is where we really need to think things through. of what is the best way to go forward, of what we truly want to step into, and giving it our thought, giving it our energy, maybe researching something. Now, the thing I do love about the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, but the Queen of Wands even more so, she has this energy of when she finally makes a decision, it's right, it's true. She never has to look back on it. And her enthusiasm alone brings in the support, the well-being, the support, the tools you need in order to actually go forward. So once again, it's about making that commitment to yourself. And then once you make that commitment to yourself based on knowledge, based on wisdom, that's when you can really jump forward into the next level, the new beginning. And then you do it with this enthusiasm. So give yourself time for this to actually happen in your life. Really weighing out what no longer serves us and being able to leave it in the past and seeing the opportunity that lays in front of us. Because we actually have those opportunities attached to us now. More so, I'm getting more of this is something that you have been working towards. This is something that you have been wanting for a while. This isn't a new hope and dream as much, even though we are in new moon energy. These cards talk more about a maturity in your plans, in your aspirations, in your dreams, in your hopes, in your wants, in your goals. For love and relationships, all Five of Pentacles show up. Well, there could be some rumblings when it comes to relationships this week. I'm sorry. Now, I'm going to hold it with the Six of Cups. So we've got to kind of work that energy into this. So there's something you need to talk about within a relationship. And be careful because Mercury is retrograde. So it could be words that were said that depleted you in some way, made you feel like you were confined or smothered, or you couldn't be independent in some way, or you really couldn't go after your dreams and your desires in a way that you wanted to because of a relationship, because of a love interest. Now, when I talk about love and relationships, I'm talking about the people you love in your life. So that could be a parent, a child, a best friend, somebody within the community, a lover, a partner. So consider those relationships, those close relationships in your life. And where they're making you feel like you can't go forward, or maybe even it's a past relationship that has kind of put this stigma on yourself of where you can actually go in life, or who you can become, or the beauty and the abundance that can come into your life, or perhaps what you deserve. I don't think this is an easy week for your emotion when it comes to relationships, love interests, your alliances and partnerships with others. And really look at where you are feeling that disconnect and where you feel like you are being smothered in some way, or pushed down in some way, or not allowed in some way. And that could even be, a parent when you were young saying something to you that is affecting your current relationship, and how it needs to be talked about, how it needs to be voiced, how it needs to be worked through. And we are in a Mercury retrograde, so it is about thinking about how we want that relationship to be going forward, and the right words so that we communicate effectively with each other. So if we're looking for relationships, new relationships, I wouldn't really say this is the week. I mean, love has its own energy, so if you meet somebody, wonderful. But I don't think for the majority of you, that would be an energy. It's more about working on yourself, healing yourself perhaps, knowing that you can have beauty and abundance in your life, not letting somebody else's actions or words pull you down, weigh you down. So it might be going more with the flow and not taking things more personally when things are said to you. It could be having to think about something that you really need to discuss with somebody that you love in your life in order to bridge the gap, move forward in some way, and it could even be letting go. Maybe there's a toxic relationship. Doesn't mean that person is bad, but they're toxic in your life. And moving from that energy. And our final card is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is, if you take your time this week, if you really look at yourself this week, you see how you can go forward. You have this intuitive magic about you. But I think a sensible intellect too, with a Knight. Pay attention to your dreams, waking and sleeping. They're going to guide you. Pay attention to that gut feeling when you meet somebody, when something happens in your life. Does it feel right to you? And if it doesn't, then back away from it, because chances are it's not good for you. So pay attention to the vibrations that you encounter around you. It's going to make you stronger this week. Think things through this week, because we have the Queen of Wands in one corner, the Five of Pentacles in the other, which tells me that if we don't use the Queen of Wands energy in all dealings and stay grounded and respectful for other people, maybe their spaces, and making sure that they are respecting your space as well, to really think things through, to really get a good understanding of how you want to go forward, with whom you want to go forward, and doing what. And I think there's some beautiful energies around you that you can embrace and step into some new beginnings. But and I know it's new moon energy, people, but it's about seeing the beauty of who you are. It all started with this card. Seeing that you are deserving of the abundance, the happiness, the joy. And the Knight of Pentacles, I mean, here we are intuitively connected to that horse. There's no reins. The horse is taking us exactly where we need to go. We look very relaxed, content, knowing that we have abundance in our life right now and we're going forward for more abundance. We don't have our armor on. We don't have weapons. So maybe by week's end, we have a group of, as we go towards the weekend, we can actually form our thoughts into conversations and words that will actually move us forward or bring us to the information we need in order to step into a new beginning or a new creation or a new expansion of your self-expression. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.